Welcome to the Talkies from Karman Studios. 3 filmmakers talking about movies. I'm Kenny.
I am D.
I am Taylor.
And today we watched Fargo. Continuing our epic quest through the works of the Coen brothers.
Also known as Coenquest.
Oh,
Coenquest.
I love that.
That's a good name.
Coenquest. Coenquest continues with what many call their seminal work, their masterpiece, their best movie.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, he did it.
Fargo, yes.
Didn't we already talk about this?
Yeah, we did, and then the card filled up. We had to start over.
Oh,
so
God damn it.
it only sounds repetitive to us, though. This movie never gets old for me. This is just one of those films that I've never seen him going like, Fargo again. You know, it's just not. It's too good for that.
I love this movie through and through. I think I like it most because it's a dark comedy, but I also love the writing. The writing is just impeccable.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's an all-time favorite of mine. It's been one of my all-time favorites ever since I saw it.
Now, would you define it first as a dark comedy?
I would, yeah. So I know Taylor said when he watched it at the very young age of 14, the very impressionable age of 14, that you said that it was like felt like a straight drama to you.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't pick up on any of the humor.
Right. To me, and I don't know if it's just because I was impressionable at the time, being, a film student and whatnot, people telling me what to feel, but I felt like when I first watched it that I thought it was more hilarious until and I watched it again.
That's
today.
Interesting.
Yeah, and where I was like, I already laughed at all the jokes, so that kind of took a backseat, and now I'm like focused more on the drama stuff.
I see it as a dramatic crime saga first, but I don't feel like the Coen brothers were like, and let's make it funny.
It feels I don't know. It feels planned funny to me. Like there's a lot of jokes in here.
I think the humor comes more out of the contrast of it's more like jokes that evolve out of place and setting than setting up a funny.
I don't know. I mean, like
situation.
Like there are a lot of like setup and punchlines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the setup and punchline stuff. I mean, like the contrast situation. You're absolutely right. That's really funny to just have people in Fargo look at a triple homicide. That's just funny.
Yes, yeah.
But like the part where they hang on the shot of Norm when he's eating breakfast and Margie goes outside to get the car and the shot just hangs there, while Norm's eating the egg
like,
still.
I need a jump.
And then she says the prowler needs a jump.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that's great. That's such a good
or when Jerry is rehearsing his line to his father-in-law
and then he
finally gets
on
through.
hold.
Secretary, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's because both of those scenarios, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about jokes that are based within the mundane.
Yeah.
Right? That is absolutely, completely normal.
Well, what about
right? There's nothing overtly silly about either of those scenarios. Well, those really happen when you do either of those things. Like it's not an absurd situation.
It's not absurd.
But it's funny in the context of us trying to get through a crime drama.
Right.
These little tastes of
that's what I would say.
Extreme mundane normalcy.
Yeah. I would say that's what the jokes are in here.
Yeah.
Though, is that they insert the mundane into a clearly dramatic arc.
Yeah.
Like when the guy comes up to go break into the house and he keeps looking inside.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And the girl's just watching him the entire time.
Yeah. She doesn't freak out till he breaks the glass.
Until it breaks in. Like that's just hilarious. And it's like I could totally see that happening in real life.
Horrifying too.
Yeah, and it's slightly horrifying. So I like the idea that they have a lot of these things that are realism within something that's quite literally not real.
And some comedic edits too, where they do the punchline and cut away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That cut away.
Like the phone call part was one of those.
I guess what I mean is that they were very careful to not let the humor get in the way of what is a very serious movie.
Sure.
Yeah, it's all pretty dry.
Yeah.
I'd say that's well done humor.
Yeah.
Like what we're talking about, bad humor is what I would say is the one that you feel the contrast and you're
yes,
like, well,
and that is how the genre of comedy is defined. by that kind of garbage.
That's garbage to me. That's not comedy to me.
But then again, like the Coen brothers, like they always have comedy in their movies. Like that's what I've noticed this time, is I feel like there's always been some comedy elements to all of their stuff. So I think that's just innate to who they are, rather than them saying, "Let's make a comedy."
Right. I
Sure.
think so too.
It's definitely just a part of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see this something like Fargo has a lot more of it than like some of their other movies, or something like Hail Caesar has a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, than
Like
say
it's a
Fargo.
spectrum. For
Yeah,
their
and I'd say
filmography.
Big Lebowski has more than Fargo does.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Lebowski has some
And
crazy stuff
Hudsucker
in it.
Proxy is straight up a screwball comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
Just straight up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The first time I watched it, it was just seemed really, really dark to me. Just like a really bleak, gruesome, disturbing movie. With an awesome score.
I was literally snowed in when I saw this movie the first time.
That's the best
cool.
place to be. That's great.
I was in
Very
like
immersive.
Iowa or something like that. I was on a trip, and I had to stay at a hotel unplanned because of snow. And I went to Walmart and bought a portable DVD player
Wow.
and
used to
some
have one of
movies.
those.
So
to
you saw
watch.
this on like a nice little
like
7-inch screen?
like a 7-inch screen on my lap. You get close enough, you might as well be in a theater.
Might as well. Might as well.
But I mean, it was literally cold and snowing outside, and I
That's
was just
awesome.
I felt the movie was extremely bleak, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the bleakness
Yeah.
of it.
I like the dark aspect of the dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A dark movie
Yeah.
whose primary color is white.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Bleakness. Yeah.
The cinematography in this movie is amazing.
I kept
Roger
looking at the
Deakins.
cinematography, and there are some shots that really stand out to me as like, wow, you made an incredible decision here to do something specific, but a lot of it feels utilitarian, and I'm not a fan of that kind of cinematography. It's great, like it's great for what it is. Like for example, even though it's planned and all, William H Macy's character comes through the door to talk to his son after the wife was just kidnapped. And that exchange is just a very simple, not even over the shoulder. It's just medium,
Yeah.
and then he leaves. But of course, the mise en scene is awesome. You know, you have the accordion that's sitting on the bed next to him with another poster behind him, and then when he closes the door, you see the poster of something
That's
else.
a funny moment
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Like it's a great
What a
setup.
weird kid.
Yeah.
It's a great setup, and I love the atmosphere that they build there. But again, I think that's speaking to the character of the environment, not necessarily the cinematography.
I love the use of light in the film. Like I love the
Oh, yeah.
daylight
Yeah.
that they use. They use like heavy daylight and a lot of bounce, stuff like that.
The snow is immaculately shot.
Yeah.
Like every shot of the snow is amazing.
Apparently, when they shot this movie, it just so happened the year they shot it just so happened to be the year where they had the least amount of snow they've had in decades.
Wow.
Yeah, like it broke a decade streak of guaranteed like 6-foot high snow, and they were like
that
very
bad luck?
disappointed.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
They imagined the movie having way more snow than there is.
That's funny.
So they had a lot of challenges with it. They had to bring in snow for a lot of scenes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I love the use of powder in here, like just fresh snow.
Yeah.
To where it makes the well, we talked about this briefly in our other podcast.
The one we erased?
The one we erased.
Yeah.
We talked about how the environment plays a character, or how the
Yes.
setting is a character, and I like the idea that you have this untouched snow that characters
Defile.
defile. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that they come
Yes.
and imprint their
Yes.
stuff.
There's several moments where it starts with a shot of undisturbed snow.
Yeah.
And then the character comes through and disturbs it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just feels so thematic to me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. The location in general, which I know is multiple locations, it spans across a few different towns and cities, but you just feel like I could see a certain kind of storm, and I would say this is a Fargo storm, right?
Yeah.
Like it's completely recognizable and that's what I mean by the location as a character, is that I know the location of this movie the way I remember a character in the movie, right? Like I know what it looks like, what it feels like. I feel like I've been there. Like it's a place I have memories of being there, you know?
Yeah, it's cool. I like the use of repetition in here where they revisit a lot of the same areas.
Paul Bunyan back and forth, Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. That's one of those things that they do so well. I think they care about their locations and they care about their people more than most filmmakers.
Yeah.
Most filmmakers have an idea of these like 3 characters, 4 characters, these main cast who are going to interact with each other, right?
Right.
And maybe it takes place in a home or a town, but then everything else can just kind of wing it, right?
Yeah.
Just get extras,
Right.
you know, just pass through generic city.
Yeah.
You know, the location and every single person on the screen in a Coen Brothers movie is lovingly planned out.
Yeah. That's what I absolutely love that about just movies in general, but specifically Coen's do it really, really well. I keep thinking of should talk about this movie again. What was the other Coen movie? No Country for Old Men. How they use that location as a character.
Yes.
And that feels really, really good.
Another bleak movie in an opposite direction.
That one has no humor.
It's a warm bleak.
Right. Warm bleak,
Yeah.
instead of cold bleak. That's interesting. Where I remember the times where what's up?
Sorry. Oh, I got distracted. I take exception with that. There's a little humor.
What humor?
In some of the exchanges between Bardem and Woody Harrelson, especially. And a couple things Bardem does that I think are meant to stand out in a funny way.
Yeah. So when all 3 of us had watched short films in our past, we've talked about how a lot of people, when they make a short film, they say, what do I have access to?
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of the smart way to do it. But the point of doing that is to then be like, okay, how does this naturally fit into the story? Not what do I have access to that I can just shoot. For example, we saw a short film that we had some people talking in a living room and groceries were all over the table. And
That made no sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you're showing it, so why is it there?
Yeah.
You know, and of course they just didn't think about it. So I like the idea that Fargo uses just this very mundane place, you know, the Fargo and places in Minnesota where it's just a diner, you know, it's just a house, it's just a road, but all these places say something about the characters and say something about the environment, and they choose them very specifically, even down to the parking lots, you know, and everything.
Yep.
Like I just love that kind of stuff. It's very auteur to me. It makes me very happy to see those things.
Yeah. William H. Macy's performance is one of the all-time best in this movie.
Yeah.
I think not just his all-time best. I mean, it's just one of the standout, awesome performances of cinema, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
totally one of my favorite performances ever.
Yeah.
I love William H. Macy in this movie. He's a pitiful man.
Yeah.
He's
And you have pity for him.
Yeah.
Like in the literal definition of pitiful.
Yeah, very
He's
much.
super relatable in our culture. You know, the American male who's trying to get money.
Yeah.
That's really what he's trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't know why specifically he's trying to get this kind of money.
I love that they
Yeah.
never
Talked about that.
Yeah,
his
they
motivation.
never reveal why he needs
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
But the point is that it almost builds more empathy
Yeah.
with him. It's like yeah, he's got his own thing, but it's like now you're drawn into what he's trying to do, you know, instead of being bothered about what he's trying to accomplish,
Yeah.
but what he's
And
trying to do.
He's so naive about it to where
Right.
once he gets that call that his father-in-law is interested in the deal, he thinks he can just show up to Shep and, I'll just call it off, But it doesn't work like that.
I love
you know?
that. Yeah, that naivete I think is like super American.
Yeah.
I think.
Totally,
yeah.
Also the impulse that whenever things don't go according to your grand scheme, that you are therefore a victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That he's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
poor him.
Poor him. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even though these are his
Yeah.
schemes that are falling apart,
I love
It's
that.
like he's a victim,
Yeah.
and he plays it so well that you believe it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's so
Exactly,
great
yeah.
about the performance. You're like, oh man,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
It's funny in the series Fargo, Martin Freeman plays that kind of character. He plays the main character that's supposed to be, that guy. His name is Lester Nygaard, which is interesting. And he has the same exact personality with that idea that he's a man that's not in control of things around him, and then when things start going awry, it's not because of him. You're like, no, but it is though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry started the whole thing. I like the scene in the beginning when he meets with Steve Buscemi and the other dude for the first time, and Steve Buscemi starts getting pissed at the end. He's like, what are you bringing us in on? You're not talking about this, and you're not telling us anything. And then he kind of just decides, like, fuck it.
Yeah. He's like, just give me the keys. We'll do it.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just do it.
Yeah.
Get the money and go.
Steve Buscemi was so good in
Dude,
this too.
He's
that's
great.
Another,
Yeah.
it's all just the best performances.
the
Steve
best of each.
Buscemi,
It's the best of Frances McDormand
yeah,
too.
French,
Yeah.
won her an Oscar.
Yeah.
She's great in this.
And yeah, everyone's good in this. Steve Buscemi. This is the first bigger role that Coen Brothers gave
Yes.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe one of the only bigger roles they've given him. Now that
Yeah,
comes
I
to
mean,
mind.
he's historically a character actor.
Right. He's not like a lead.
I mean, he
Right.
became really a leading man in Boardwalk Empire,
Yeah.
and that was fairly recently.
It's because he's funny looking in a general
In a
kinda
general way.
Now, that was one of my favorite jokes, and again, that's callback humor.
That- yeah, that is specific,
They're
yeah.
very good at that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They do that a lot in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Oh.
The whole
Yeah, they
he's
do.
bona fide
Right.
thing,
We're in a tight spot.
Yeah.
That one too.
Yeah. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Yeah.
That gets me excited to get when we watch that
Seriously,
one.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh man, Fargo's so freaking good. The score is awesome.
I love the score
Yeah.
so much.
Man,
It's
every time we talk about a movie and you guys talk about the score, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I guess there was music in the movie, huh? I did not even notice.
the score gets stuck in my head regularly.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm trying actively to think about the music and I cannot hear the music.
It's like three notes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a series of three notes that recurs in different levels of drama.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's also there's actually kind of a jazzy track too, where it's like boom 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 boom.
Yeah, that's
boom, boom.
Yes, that's the unraveling, impending doom
Yeah.
sort of score.
Yeah, driving down the street.
Yeah.
There's even there's a brush snare even, I think, or hi-hat.
It's an excellent score.
Um
I can't get enough of the dialogue. We didn't say it in our redo of this episode, so we have to bring it up again. This is the best dialogue ever written in a screenplay, in my opinion.
The screenplay is amazing in
Yeah.
this movie.
it's flawless.
yeah.
It's literally everything moves it forward. Every piece of dialogue is moving the story forward.
Oh,
I don't know.
Except
that's right. Except for this one
We're going
part.
to talk about.
I've been thinking real hard about that scene.
We're talking about
And I
the
haven't
course,
come
the
to any
sequence
conclusions.
I have a pretty
where
good
her
conclusion.
friend, her friend from her past, calls her up and says, "Hey, I'm in town. Let's meet."
Mike. Mhm.
right?
His name's Mike.
Yes.
I'm so
And-
lonely.
I'm so lonely.
And I've thought about this sequence for years because I've always thought I like it. I've never disliked it. I've never felt like it had to be out of the movie, but I also I feel pretty strongly that the movie would not lose anything
without it.
if it was gone.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if it was not in the movie, we'd have just as good of a masterpiece on our hands.
I more or
Prove
less
me wrong. Change my mind.
I more or less agree. I would say that because I connect so much to theme overall, like an overall message that filmmakers try to say. So
It does play into the theme.
yeah, so I like that they put that into there to accent the theme. And to me, that whole exchange is about just like what the whole movie's about, which is you don't know what's going to happen, even though there's a familiar place that you have, but there could be outside things that come in. And again, with the snow, with them traipsing through the snow, it's illustrative of that. The whole idea of a triple homicide that's happening in an old town that nothing happens in is, again, illustrative of that theme, where familiar is, what do you call it? Is messed with.
Yeah.
Familiarity is messed with.
Yeah.
So the idea that this guy comes back who's like an ex-boyfriend of some sort, and is just actually psychotic, and she doesn't know it, and she's tricked into it, like, again, I think calls back into that theme. And I think it's great because that little dialogue scene feels so out of place, but I like that, like, again, it's just because that's there, and because if it's out of place, it feels right.
Yeah.
It feels right.
I think, and also, like, the scene I always forgot was the follow-up to that dialogue scene when she's talking on the phone, and you learn that he was making everything up. He was lying about everything. He was never married, and Linda is still alive, and all this stuff.
Again, it's that familiarity being broken.
Yeah, I think the one thing I can think, and I have a hard time like thinking about what does it add to the story. Like, you could probably take it out and have a movie that's just as good. I think that's probably true. But I think it says something about, especially that phone call and how Marge reacts to it. It says something about Marge.
Yes. It also it reinforces this idea that behind the mundane can lurk the insane, the absurd, the crazy, right? Hiding in plain sight kind of thing.
Yeah. Just like Jerry.
There's evil among us kind of thing, right? So that sort of fits.
It rings home with her monologue at the end.
Yes.
In the police car.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I love that. I guess where it feels weird to me, and always has, is that they almost set it up like she is like contemplating like going behind her husband's back, you know, like they do a weird thing when she mentions that she's thinking of going to the Twin Cities, right, where she's next to her husband, and she's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go down there. And it was right after that phone call, and it makes you go, oh, what is she? She's planning something, and she's not telling him.
I like the idea too,
it's
when
the way they make it
seem.
She came in to that date that they had or whatever, you know, dressed differently than she's ever been.
Right.
And she's like, you know, fixing her hair before she comes up behind the guy. Like, it's clear that she has some sort of intentions here. And I like that. It just gives more depth to her character.
She's definitely not there romantically, though.
No, but she has some intentions to at least appeal to the dude.
Sure. But that's it feels like they're peeling back a page to be like, here's
but
something
just
totally different.
Just a little bit, though.
But there's no, like, it feels like it didn't go anywhere or mean anything other than showing that.
Other than reiterating the constant theme.
Yeah. There have been hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of people who've written about that very thing.
Sure, but it's pervasive throughout the entire film in here. You know, everything reiterates the theme.
It's a testament to how awesome this movie is,
and to how controlling the Coens are.
That this is the thing that people can pick on. like this is the only thing that people are like, well, there's that one thing.
And even then,
I want to say.
Totally.
That scene is like the another movie we've never mentioned before, No Country for Old Men. Where,
forgot about that one.
Where the very end of it, where the dude gives the speech and basically just says the theme of the movie, like you could take that out and it wouldn't matter, right? The idea is that you're wrapping it up into something.
I don't know. I disagree a little bit with that, because if you took out that scene, you'd still need to put something else there. I don't think place so. To end the movie.
No. Like, Coens can end their movies in any way.
What I'm saying is you could pull this out entirely and it wouldn't have changed a thing.
You're talking about continuity?
Just the whole quality of the film?
I mean, there'd be a scene missing.
I think the idea is it would be, you wouldn't notice that it's missing.
There wouldn't be a piece of the whole missing.
But you wouldn't notice it missing from No Country for Old Men either. Is what I'm saying. You took out that last part where the last shot of the movie, where he comes in and just says "No Country for Old Men."
I think that
I think it's
I think the ending-
I think it's a very
I think
important
the ending
scene.
definitely adds to the
It does
movie.
add, but you could take it out and it would be the same movie. My point is that they're both the same kind of thing. I think they're both the same kind of thing because both scenes play into what the script was about.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what it is.
They both do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just think that
And they both go deeper
in
into
No
character.
Country for Old Men, I think it has much more of an impact on the movie.
I think it's
than
only
this
because it
does.
was placed at the end, though.
Could be, yeah.
Had it
could
not
be.
been placed at the end, it would have.
Could be.
So what we're saying here is Fargo should have ended with that scene.
Yes, that should have been
Actually,
the
that
end.
would have been really incredible. Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
No, the end of Fargo is one of my
It's
absolute
perfect.
favorite endings ever.
I agree.
I love the end of Fargo so much. Which brings me to the greatest movie couple of all time. Am I right?
It's a great relatable couple. Yeah.
I love them so
They're
much.
so sweet.
I love them.
Very wholesome.
Yeah, I know. They're like
It's because there's no conflict in there.
their love's
Yeah.
like extremely PG. I'd
Yeah.
say, you know,
Family film.
kind of hold hands.
In
Yeah.
every movie, you have conflict that's driving the plot, and in this one, the times where it's back at the home, there's no conflict.
Yeah.
So it feels very homey.
Yeah,
I would say that's the reasoning for it.
yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
I love
beautiful.
how that's
It is. It's great.
Especially, I like how at the end he's talking about his stamp, and she just got home from solving
Yeah.
five murders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And she's perfectly happy with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And she's like,
She's genuinely happy
Yeah.
for her husband's accomplishment.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, it's not. She doesn't take it out. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She leaves her work as his work.
Yep.
And she's like, we're doing pretty good, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah,
I really
Yeah.
like how I feel like everything in this movie just feels real. Really feels real. Like Wade I've seen Wade. I've met
Yep.
Wade.
We've all met Wade.
I've met
Yeah.
his partner.
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
met William H Macy's guy character.
Yeah,
Jerry. I've met all these people. Like these are just real people.
yeah.
Even the strange dude who was hanging out with the freaking assassin dude, the bleached hair guy.
Yeah, I don't want to meet that guy.
That's Taylor.
I feel like what the Coens are so good at is mimicking the randomness of real life.
Yeah.
Like we're so used to stories that are contrived by a writer that we expect a written story to go a certain way, and we're okay with it
Yep.
because this is how stories work. This is how movies work. In movie world, the shot from your pistol from 200 yards away will hit the guy square in the head, right?
Right.
But in the Coen movies, right, you get these things that just feel so true and real because it's like random chance.
Because you think, oh, why wouldn't that happen? You know, and we talked about this with Blood Simple and
yeah,
ever since then. But like what I really like about it is specifically to your point when you're talking about classic or traditional stories where we have good guy versus bad guy.
Yeah.
And good guy comes in contact with bad guy in the middle of the story, and they don't do anything to each other, right? It's like this moment of trying to understand each other so we can continue the arc. Whereas in here, Wade gets shot. you know, and then the two people who drove by them killing the cop crash the car.
Yeah.
And then get
Yeah.
shot after.
Yes.
Like no one escapes.
Yep.
It feels so real because the guy has a gun. Of course he'd shoot them.
Yeah, and the guy in the red jacket starts running in a straight line, like just away. Like where is he gonna go?
Right.
Like the bullet's gonna hit you.
Yeah. Right.
There's no chance
yeah,
of survival
Yeah.
in that situation.
In that
Yeah.
way, it feels more real. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. And the guy didn't, bleach haired dude didn't catch up to that car that was fleeing.
Right.
He didn't catch up and shoot out their tires and force them off the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they on their own dumb luck skid off the ice and flip
which
the
is
car.
off screen,
Which
too.
makes sense.
And we don't even see it happen.
Yeah, which even makes sense in there because it's an icy road and they know they're in trouble.
Yeah,
Right.
and they're panicking,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like so much more in line with the randomness of real life.
Yeah.
Just I'm like that, and it's funny because that's what we're all more used to, but
Yeah.
it is way harder to imagine that. I don't know why that's the case.
Yeah.
But it seems harder to make that up.
Maybe it is a true story.
I like the idea that that Coen's just like turn tropes on their head, and I feel like that's just what they do. Their writing style, is that they would like take a story that they're gonna retell, but instead make it non-traditional. You know, I feel like they could even like just write the movie in its entirety traditionally first, and then go back and cut it up and be like, well, what would really happen? You know, and keep doing that shit. I like that.
I really like how Steve Buscemi reacts to who is the father-in-law? What's his name?
Wade. Yeah.
Wade shows up, and
Yeah.
and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Where's Jerry?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
he's just
it's-
hella fucking pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like, I am sick of this. He's like,
Yeah.
this is the stupidest fucking job I've ever been involved with at that point.
Right.
And Wade comes in acting all cowboy, tough man,
Yeah.
like way out of his element,
Yeah.
like way treating this like it's a movie.
Right.
Oh wait,
Where's my daughter?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like as if Wade is like playing the movie trope there.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like a conscious. It's because like it's like I could see his character like seeing things like that on TV,
Right.
and thinking that's how it goes.
Yeah. Well, even
You
his
know?
line, "No
Yeah.
Gene, no money."
Yeah. and Steve Jones just like, who the fuck are you?
I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, and it shows how far off the deep end Jerry has gone, that he gets there after Wade has been shot, and his first thing, like he just pops his trunk. He just gets there and he just
Right.
pops his trunk. He's
Right.
like, well, I gotta hide this.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Aw, jeez.
That was also Wade's last words.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
dying.
jeez.
Oh, jeez.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love the the night crawlers part where she's like checking out the homicides and she's like, "Oh, we got to go get the night crawlers."
It's like, you think he's involved with this? He's like, no, I got to get some worms. I love her initial inspection. That whole sequence when she gets on the crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I think I'm just going to barf.
Yeah.
Ah, it passed. Okay, well, looks like he executed this one here. Defense wound on that one. So many great
I'm a
lines.
big fan of.
We, one I use all the time. I don't think I agree with your police work there.
DLR. Got them looking for the DLR. A place starting with DLR.
You heard of the one?
Yeah.
The guy changes his name.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one. It's great. It's great. It's great. This whole movie's great. I think though, there's one question we haven't considered.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that's if this movie
It's
was
frozen
made
pizza.
by a different
It's
director,
gotta be a
what would it
frozen
look
pizza.
like?
It'd be a bad movie.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
But if it was a pizza,
Oh, sure.
it'd be a frozen pizza because of snow. Just kidding. Frozen pizza sucks.
Frozen pizza sucks.
Yes.
No laughter.
Dang.
He's cold, man.
Insert laugh
He's
track.
cold. No pun intended. He's cold.
Note to editor. Insert laughs.
Insert laughs.
Here, I'll give you a couple. You can chop that up and.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You, the bleached dude. The
Bleach dude.
The bleached.
The bleached dude.
Yes.
Jeez.
Grim.
Oh, yeah.
Putting
Grisman.
his friend in the chipper.
Grimsman.
Griswold.
I don't know. Anyway, Griswold. Griswold.
Yes, what about him?
Anyway, that dude.
Shark eyes.
I was wondering if this was intended. I'm not sure. You guys should tell me whether or not. So Jerry goes over to Shep and talks to Shep and says, "Hey, there was your dude and his friend," and he's like, "What friend?" Right?
Yeah.
I don't vouch for the friend. And I think you're supposed to think that the bleach blonde dude is the guy who he doesn't vouch for. I think you're supposed to think that.
Yeah.
Then you find
the
it's
old
opposite at the
switcheroo.
very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd feel that way because obviously Carl talks way more.
Because he's because it makes the most sense too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
is like seems to be the business guy.
Right.
The guy doing the business.
Doing the business,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and the other dude just seems to be like the muscle.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's just the muscle. Right.
But then when you really think about it, that does make sense.
Yeah, because Carl's like way in over his head, and he's acting like a idiot. Blah 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 blah, being spending all his money on hookers. And
Yeah, I'm being
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and Shep seriously seems like a none of that.
N-
He's
yeah,
like
no
he's
nonsense, yeah.
stoic.
Yeah.
The same way that the other guy is.
Yeah. It like
Leech
makes
Man.
sense at the end. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, what? Yeah, I guess they would be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It
interesting.
makes it even more dark. I feel like you think about it, you're like, oh wow, so he went to him, and oh yeah, that's his friend. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like the guy who just acts murderers just just because I have to get rid of him. So
Yeah.
oof.
Pizza?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza. Yeah, if this movie was a pizza, what kind of pizza would it be? I know it's a question you've never thought of.
I wasn't prepared for this.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. Taylor, you go first.
I almost feel like this movie is better than pizza.
Oh my gosh.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
That's not
It's
possible.
better than pizza.
It's not possible.
There isn't a pizza that is as good as this movie.
You're gonna tell me that you've
That's
compared lots of Kubrick movies to pizza, but not this one.
Mm-hmm.
You like Kubrick more though.
No, I don't.
Haha. You thought you know Taylor? You don't.
That's what we all say.
This movie in particular is just one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I would call it a...
Lunchables. Pizza.
Oh, God. Come back to me.
All right. You gotta work on that.
Kenny,
Okay.
without using anything that's cold.
Yeah. I'm not gonna use reference to snow, but
It's pizza with snow on it. And then someone gets shot in the face. Sorry, go ahead.
in the late '90s in Monrovia, California, there was a pizzeria, a pizza joint. That's,
What month?
I don't know.
What
but
day?
It might still be there.
Oh, okay.
But I frequented it when I was in high school in the late 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Monrovia, California. This was a Chicago-style pizza place. They used a corn
In California?
meal. Yeah. A cornmeal crust in these deep dish pizzas.
Yeah, boy.
Right? Now,
Yeah, boy.
up to this point, I had eaten many pizzas. Okay.
None of them cornmeal crust.
I've had lots of pizzas. I've experienced the pantheon of what was possible in pizza. But when I had a slice of this pizza from said place in Monrovia, it changed my definition. I'm like, there's more to pizza than I ever thought. Like, I didn't know there could be this drastic a departure of what I thought pizza to be. It was a paradigm shift.
Wow.
And that is what Fargo does to the person who hasn't seen it, especially that person happens to be a filmmaker or a
Definitely if they're a filmmaker.
cinephile.
Yeah.
You see this movie and you go, whoa, this is different.
Yeah.
This is not just another good movie. This one is special.
Absolutely.
Sacred ground. There
Damn.
you go, fool.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you, Kenny.
Oh, wow.
I know I've been doing a lot of that. It's kind of similar. The idea is this. I'm gonna compare it a little bit differently. This hasn't happened with me with pizza yet, but it's gonna happen. It has happened with eggs. So
Eggs.
yeah. So this is what's gonna happen, right?
I'll make you some eggs.
I've made scrambled eggs all my life,
Yes.
and it wasn't until I don't know about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, where I learned scrambled eggs from Gordon Ramsay's videos, and I was like, "What? You can make scrambled eggs? That's what scrambled eggs are?" And sure enough, I guess every restaurant in the world that's a high tier restaurant makes scrambled eggs this other way, which is completely different from what I've been making them, or
Get some
anyone
cream
that
in
I've
there and all that.
yeah, it's like more like a creamy experience that you put on like toast and shit. It's freaking bomb. And it's weird because I've never known scrambled eggs like that. So it's the same thing with pizza here. If I think about pizza of what I believed pizza to be,
Yeah.
this movie is the pizza that you're just like, oh, I've actually been,
See?
I thought pizza was this other thing.
So I just got to take you to Monrovia and you'll see it.
So that's what it is. That's what this movie is.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
That is a way to
That's
put it.
a way to put it.
Thank you, Taylor.
Never has it been this difficult to define a movie by pizza.
Actually, yeah.
This really pushed us.
Yeah, this
I
one.
think I would have to go back a little bit and contextualize this pizza rating a little bit too.
All right.
In that, imagine you've only had a cheese pizza your whole life. It's good cheese pizza. And then this movie is like the first time you see it, it's like the first time you ever had brick oven, New York style pepperoni pizza. First time you've ever even had pepperonis on a pizza, and you eat that,
You
and
didn't
you're
know
like,
toppings were a thing.
yeah, you didn't even know.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it could have a much like richer, even
What you're saying
even
is
more.
you didn't know there was bad pizza. Now you're well aware that there's bad pizza.
Unfortunately,
Yes. Fargo ruins almost every other movie.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's just the best. Just the best pepperoni pizza.
It's just the best.
It's
Yeah.
just the best. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Triple amen. I mean, almond to that.
Oh,
Almond.
Almond to that.
This has been the Talkies by Karman Line Studios. Thank you for
what this
listening.
was?
It's been a really pleasure time.
pleasure's all mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we do episodes every Friday. Every Friday, new episodes out. Boom, boom, boom. Spotify, be there. Boom, boom. Friday, boom.
All different kinds of
New
Yeah,
movies
podcasts.
every
It's on
day.
YouTube
Boom.
also.
It's on YouTube. It's on Overcast. It's on
Overcast.
iTunes.
It's on
iTunes.
It's on iTunes.
Is
But
it?
it's not. It's Apple Music now.
It's on Apple Music.
Really?
Whatever. Or Apple Podcasts.
Just click on the
We're awesome.
podcast app on your
Yeah,
dang
click on the
iPhone.
Damn
icon.
it.
We have
Just listen to this shit,
Google
dude.
Podcasts. We're on everything.
It's everywhere, man. You can't miss us.
And next Friday, we're going to be talking about the big L.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Oh, that
talk
is-
about a fucking back-to-backer.
Big Lebowski.
Can you imagine making Fargo and then your next movie is The Big Lebowski?
You're the Coens.
If you can't imagine that, you are the Coen brothers. We would like to meet you. If you listen to our show, we really want to meet you.
No one listens to the show.
That's true.
That's true.
Hey, to the one person listening to our show, you're a loser.
Yeah, you fucking suck.
What are you doing
Oh,
with your
sorry.
life? What a waste.
Yeah, let's
People comparing movies to pizza.
Fuck off.
Go get a life, you weirdo.
What does that make us? Talking
Worse.
about it?
We're worse.
We're worse than
worse
that.
than losers.
Yeah.
That's a good ending.
Great ending.
Bye.
Absolutely
Bye, everyone.
alienate. Sorry. My deepest apologies.